Bonjour, Normandale. This is Principal Holden with a brief update on distance learning. Parents, if you're watching this video alone, please hit pause and ask your students to join you. I hope you're all doing well and are enjoying this extra time with family. I will share more about what the Holden family has been doing later. This transition to distance learning has been challenging for all of us. I miss the daily and face-to-face contact with students, teachers, and parents. I imagine your students do too. Nonetheless, Normandale staff have been working hard behind the scenes to plan meaningful distance learning activities for your students. By now, you know that we will begin distance learning on Monday, March 30th. Normandale teachers are treating this distance learning launch like the first day of school. This first week of distance learning, students will be focusing on maintaining routines and relationships, albeit virtually. Teachers will be using activity boards for the bulk of their assignments the first week. The activity boards require less tech savvy and less teacher-parent support. Over the next few weeks, as students, teachers, and parents build capacity, teachers will be layering in additional resources and assignments. This transition to distance learning will require all of us to be patient with each other. We understand that many of you are working from home and are not trained teachers. Please know that we want distance learning to be productive and not stress-inducing. If your particular situation requires modification to the expectations for learning, please reach out to your student's teacher. Similarly, teachers are also working from home and managing their own children's learning. There may be a lag in communication and follow-up due to their obligations as well. On Monday morning, teachers will be communicating with you and delivering their first message about distance learning and their classroom. Normandale teachers are an efficient and cohesive bunch. Both the format for instruction and the instruction itself has been a team effort and team generated. Special education case managers will reach out to families next week with specific information. Specialists like art, music, phy-ed, media, gifted and talented, multilingual learners, and our learning specialists will begin lessons on April 6th. Classroom teachers will communicate schedules to students and families on Monday. Just a few things to note here on this slide. Attendance is not optional and will be taken daily. Teachers will be marking attendance based on the activities that students complete and post to Seesaw and Schoology. Typically, teachers will be posting an update or a video by 8 a.m. each morning. They're going to be sharing activities. They're going to have time to respond to submissions, and they will hold office hours 2 hours a day, 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the afternoon. I'll explain a little bit more about the schedule later. And then, as I said before, specialists, art, music, and PE, learning specialists, multilingual learner teacher, and special ed will begin on April 6th. While I fully expect the Normandale community of learners, teachers, and parents to solve this distance learning puzzle, I'm sure there will be questions. If you have questions about assignments or activities, please direct them to your classroom teacher. If you have questions about technology, you can direct them to the help desk on the portal. If you have building questions for me or questions that can't be answered by a teacher or through the help desk portal, please direct them to me. The weekly schedule for teachers is a bit different with distance learning. Because staff are not in proximity to each other, and because we want the student experience to be as positive as possible, we have modified the teacher's schedule so that Fridays are available to them for planning and collaborating with teammates. Your students will still have work to do, but it will be independent or asynchronous work. So if you look at the schedule, you see that there's teacher contact on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and there's teacher-directed activities on Monday through Thursday, as well as office hours in the AM and PM. On Friday, teacher time will be spent primarily planning with their colleagues. They will be posting activities for independent learning for your students, however. At the beginning of the presentation, I talked about maintaining routines. Here's a sample schedule that may look like the one that your student's teacher shares with you. Some things that are common across all elementary distance learning experiences are all teachers will be posting activities to Seesaw or Schoology by 8 a.m. Students will have activities that they're engaging in the morning, specifically a teacher message that will be shared with them. Teachers will have a morning office hour to answer questions from students or you. In the afternoon, students will have other activities that will be posted that they can work on. There'll be a teacher message that will follow through from the morning. And then the afternoon, they will also have office hours. And then by the end of the day, students should have submitted their assignments that will allow teachers to mark them present for the school day. Just a few housekeeping items. In order to maximize your students' learning time, please set up a learning space for your child with minimal distractions. In fact, you may want to have them working in proximity to you so that you can help and encourage them as they work in this new way. There are some technology reminders that I'll be sharing with you in the next slide. Some basic things that you'll want to remember for your own home office area. So Chromebook rules, make sure your student keeps their password private. You're going to want to charge the Chromebook every evening so that it's ready in the morning. It's just like a classroom situation. If your teacher is using the Chromebook and doing a synchronous activity, students should be listening and following the directions. Remember, no food or drink around the Chromebook. We don't want to ruin them. Take care of the technology, and then be respectful online and make sure you're following our acceptable use policy guidelines that all of the students have learned with our technology and media specialists. While this distance learning experiment is exciting and will force all of us to learn and grow together, it's also disappointing for all of us. At the Holden House, there are 3 bummed out but resourceful teenagers. Annie, our high school junior, misses her friends, her softball teammates, and her job at D'Amico. She's also nervous about what this stoppage means for her college search. Kate, our high school sophomore, also misses her friends, her track teammates, and her job at Vibe Juice Bar. Despite these challenges, both girls fill their days with schoolwork, exercise, and projects around the house like baking cookies and detailing our vehicles. Max, our freshman in college, had to return home for trimester 3. He misses his independence, classes, friends, and girlfriend. He's filling his time with reading, exercise, and dad-directed chores like waxing skis for our last ski excursion last weekend. Like the Holden family, I know you can do this. I'm already looking forward to catching up with all of you about your experience this spring. Stay healthy and be safe.